go ahead and set light on the different. All right, peace. All right, hey, talk. Peace, peace. Islam. All right, peace, peace, peace. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? What's going on? Can you hear me? Yeah, y'all. It's good. It's good. Yes, we live. All right. All right. Loud and clear. All right. God damn, that's what I'm talking about. Whoo. See, we was trying to do this last night and had so much damn problems with it. I don't know what's going on, man. All right. All right. All right. Juice and More, Healing Wings Institute, United Washita, Moore's Holy Temple of Science of the World. We are in the building. All right. Dr. Alim El-Bey. All right. For those that don't know of me, then you might need to go and check out the website, www.dralimelbey.com. That's www.dralimelbey.com. All right. Definitely check us out. And y'all know we got some events coming up. And so we definitely have to tell you all about that. Y'all know we open up a juice and vegan spot. So we're fruitarian and vegan, along with our breatharian, all right, methods that we teach. All right, that's Juice and More. We in the building. All right. We got that cruise coming up. All right, that pyramid cruise. September the 29th through October. It says 5th here, but it's actually through the 6th. We be returning on the 6th. All right, so you definitely want to call Ebony Sims, also known as Sashetta, Sister Sashetta. You definitely want to give her a call. The number is 504-515-6515. That's 504-515-6515. She is our travel agent. All right. So you definitely want to get in contact with her. All right. Don't dilly dally. You know what I'm saying? Don't trip. In fact, come and make a trip with us. You know what I mean? So we going to the Bahamas. We're going to Cozumel, Mexico. We're going to Honduras. We're going to Roatan. We're going to 2 pyramid sites, not 1, but 2. All right. We're going to Chichen Itza. All right. Chichen Itza, not chicken and pizza. Chichen Itza. All right. And then we're also going to Costa Porto Mayan ruins, where there's over 200 pyramids and mounds there. You definitely want to come to that. So we're going to 2 pyramid sites, 7-day cruise for less than $1,000. Damn, you can't beat that. 7 days and 5 different locations, 2 freaking pyramid sites. And plus, on the cruise, I will be teaching. Also, we will have Michelle Gibson. She will be teaching. We might also have Brother Shem L. He will be teaching. You don't want to miss this. So not only will you have 7-day trip, 5 location, 2 pyramid sites, you might even have 3 lecturers. Damn. For less than $1,000. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. All right, so you need to give Ebony Sims, Sashetta, Sister Sashetta, a call at 504-515-6515. All right, y'all got to check that out. If you don't, you slipping. In fact, you tripping. So you need to start calling to get a trip with us. Trip time, y'all. September 29th through October the 6th. But before we go to the pyramids, we go into the mounds. All right, we go into the mounds. The mound trip will be during the Juneteenth celebration time period, that weekend of the Juneteenth celebration. All right, you're going to be in Ohio at the Serpent Mounds. All right, in Ohio at the Serpent mounds. Now, if you don't know where that is, put it in Google. Google will help you get it. All right, Google. All right, so Google. All right, this is the joint on Facebook. All right, let's see. Let's get it bigger. All right, the Oracle presents Summer Solstice at Serpent Mounds. All right, featuring Dr. Alim El-Bey. That's me. All right, we definitely need y'all in the building. As you see, $25 in advance, $35 at the door. We're going to be at the Days in Hillsborough. Lecture is the 21st through the 23rd of June. That's 3 days, y'all. 3 days. Magnificent days of lecture and information. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Serpent Mound Tour. 1:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. All right. Email oracletemple9.com. All right. Or that is the website, actually. And then the phone number is 816-517-5816. That's 816-517-7816. All right. And to book your reservations at the Days in Hillsborough, which is Hillsborough, Ohio, 103 Harry Saunders Road, 937-393-0299. All right. So before we go to the pyramids, we're going to the mounds. All right. This is what being indigenous is about, not just being on your computer. All right. It's going to these actual locations, to these pyramid sites, to these mound sites, and find out more about your historical information as being indigenous and being aboriginal. Not just passing goddamn pictures around on Facebook and doing a nice little presentation on YouTube. Get your asses on out here to these events. All right. That's what needs to be going on. All right. Take some good pictures, learn some good information. All right. That's what we need to be doing. All right. So that's 937-393-0299. All right. All right. Thanks, Brother Mark. Brother Mark Price. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes. Yes. Brother UL. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, God, for those two numbers. Look in the chat and you can see Brother UL Adamant. He has the number of Ebony Sims there, as well as also the hotel. All right. So the mound trip and the pyramid trip, he has the numbers too. So you definitely want to sync your calendars with these events. Juneteenth weekend, which is the summer solstice, as well as also be doing right after the fall or autumn equinox. All right. Notice how we doing these periods here. All right. So this is what we're doing. We appreciate y'all coming on, checking us out. Get your friends on because we're getting ready to go in. You know, I know that was like a long ass commercial, but we got a lot of information that we got to go over. All right. So you definitely don't want to miss this. You want to come on and get this, you know. All right. So let's see if I can do what I can with this information. Let's see here. Of course, y'all can ask questions while I get ready to try to get this presentation together. I was amazed that this thing even working because it did not work last night for whatever reason. All right. It will not do anything. So I'm glad that y'all got a chance to check this out tonight. Because I struggled real hard last night till damn near 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get this. And I was like, yeah, I just ended up falling asleep. You know what I'm saying? While doing it, while trying to do the presentation, never could get right. So I'm glad that we got on tonight. And so, support the events. And also, if y'all got any questions, definitely ask, you know. Appreciate Brother UL coming on. Thank you for the congratulations, Candace. Craig, peace, God. 305 Capricorn, hello, peace, peace. Oh yeah, Candace once again, peace, peace. Irene, peace, peace, goddess. Sending everyone love, no doubt, no doubt. All right, I'm glad that we loud and clear. Are there any questions? Oh, my man, Zachary. All right, if you don't know, this is the God. He's online right now, and he's the one who did these fantastic flyers for us. Juicing Moore is in the building. The Pyramid Cruise. You won't lose. All right, so the guy did these for us. So yeah, peace, God. Appreciate you. I had to give you a quick shout out. Anybody that needs some graphics, I recommend that you hit that God up. So definitely. So hit me up. Any questions, y'all? Any questions right quick as I try to pull this information up. Like I said, I'm amazed that we got on tonight. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to get the information out to y'all because I be getting messed with so bad as far as with this, screen, YouTube. They try their best to to make sure that my joint skip and it's not clear and everything goes. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen it. You know what I mean? So, I know ain't nobody trying to call me. All right, it's time to go out, y'all. I got to go and see what's going on. All right, I'm gonna have to go out. Bam. Can't do that right now. Bam. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. All right, there we go. All right. All right. All right. So let's get into the information. The ninth joint is the origin of red blood. All right. They actually, because I said red blood, I used the word red. They demonetized my goddamn joint, y'all. But the joint is called the origin of blood and how to eat right for your blood type. And because I say red blood, because I used the word red, they demonetized the joint. That's the stupid shit that YouTube is on right now. You know what I mean? So I had to go to, thanks, brother UL, no doubt, appreciate that. He has the Patreon links up. Okay, Miss Candace does have a question. She said, I've had extreme hair breakage the last few years, and my scalp is a bit sore in certain places or certain areas. I don't have any health issues other than that. Biotin does not help. What would you recommend? All right, number one, Iris moss. You need to see vegetables. Kelp helps. All right, bladder rack ain't whack. All right, you need dulce. Right, you need all the minerals. Now, matter of fact, you can mix Iris moss, as I call it, Morris moss, along with bladder rack that ain't whack, with burdock. All right, you can also add stinging nettle to it and alfalfa. All right. And those would definitely get you back in order. You know, if you want, you can order it from our website under our ancestral herbs. That's dralimel-bey.com. You can go to ancestral herbs. You know, so yeah, if you are stressing, then you definitely need to get in order as far as breathing meditation exercises. One of the relaxing exercises is breathing in for a count of 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, and breathe out for 8 seconds. And that what that does is activate your vagus nerve, which helps you to calm down and relax and be at ease. All right, so that you can get the proper nutrients that you need, so the cells can extract the proper minerals and vitamins from the food, nutrients from the food, so that it can go into the proper areas. You can also add a bit of cayenne pepper. Whenever you add cayenne pepper to any said remedy, herbal remedy, it gets to those places faster. All right, so cayenne pepper helps with the circulatory system. Very powerful. All right. Also helps to flush out the lymphatic system. If you need something to remove obstructions in your body, then lobelia, 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 all right, remove any and all obstacles and foreign objects, heavy metals, parasites, worms, viruses, bacteria, negative bacteria. Any and everything can be removed by taking lobelia. Lobelia is like a all cure herb, along with golden seal, which is also a natural antibiotic and an all cure herb. So if you don't know what's going on in your body, if you can get golden seal or lobelia and lobelia, then you can get and deal with your issue. All right. All right, all right. Spirit, mind, character, soul. Say you bought that lobelia for your dad, exactly, and he's gonna thrive on it. Oh, Twinkie is in the building. Twink, 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 twink. Is in the building. All right, all right. I just finished giving shout outs for the Juneteenth / summer solstice. All right, so peace. I just finished giving out that showing the flyer and giving out the shout out, and also the phone numbers and everything, Twinkie. So you should be getting some calls pretty soon, about the trip to the mounds. Before we go to the pyramid cruise, we got to go to the mounds, y'all. All right, so make sure y'all call Twinkie, Trina, the goddess Trina, Hart Michael. All right, make sure you call the goddess and set that mound trip up for the Juneteenth celebration, summer solstice celebration. Like I said, I'll be lecturing, so you're gonna be able to get this information head on, face to face. All right. All right. Remember, the phone number is 816-517-7816, y'all. Once again, 816-517-7816. All right. 816-517-7816. The Serpent Mounds Tour. Serpent Mounds Tour. All right. And definitely, I told y'all, the Oracle Temple 9 at gmail.com. That's the Oracle Temple number 9 at gmail.com. All right. We told y'all that a few minutes ago, but Twinkie want me to make sure that y'all get it and get it good. All right. No doubt. Oh yeah. Spirit, mind, character, soul says, oh yeah, it tastes like death. But I haven't had a bad experience. Exactly. And the herb that she's talking about is lobelia. Lobelia is not a good tasting herb, and is not bitter. It's just numbing type of, I don't know what you want to call it. It has like a slight numbing effect. It's not, I don't know if you don't want to call it numbing, but It just isn't the most pleasant herb. All right. But definitely lobelia and golden seal would knock whatever is going on with you out. But the herbs specifically for the air, I would recommend sage, nettle, stinging nettle, peach leaves. All right. And you can actually make that into a hair rinse. And you can also take those internally. All right. You want to massage your scalp with peppermint, essential peppermint oil, essential spearmint oil. All right. And you said you that has been sore in some places, then you will want to use grapefruit, essential grapefruit oil. Okay. So you definitely want those herbs internally as well as also externally. Um, I definitely recommend that. All right. So let's get started, y'all. All right. So metaphysically, if y'all never heard of Kanun, let me tell you about the science of noon first. N-U-M, noon. All right. Um, but before we get there, I have to tell you about a book. The book is called The Greatest Story Never Told. That's the name of the book. The Greatest Story Never Told by Lana Cantrell. Lana Cantrell, right? This is what she says. It has always been claimed that our blood constitutes of the primal sea from our evolutionary past, which seems silly as blood has a great deal of elements, not in seawater, as the chlorine in salt, which our bodies cannot use. It is poisonous to us. Later, we will look into the reasons and how it is an excellent example where very unhealthy bodies have allowed that to influence their outlook on life. Rather, blood appears more similar to clay, from which science is finally admitting that our ancient myths of all cultures may have been true after all. From a watery medium, does not have the radiation charge that clay has. It is known among naturopaths to be an excellent healing agent, so it affects our cells is tremendous. The effects on the cells is tremendous. Another element missing in Miller's experiment, it says blood is also thicker, as the saying goes, because intracellular water exists in a semi-solid form. Ferrohemoglobin we found to be strongly paramagnetic with 4 unpaired electrons. This creates a positive electron spin, and as the Earth is negative, the organism should be able to respond appropriately. However, O2 combines with ferrohemoglobin to form oxyferrohemoglobin, and iron and O2 becomes paired, and this creates a diamagnet or magnetic flow, which is negative. If an organism such as we, who have little, check this out, light skin to the extreme, or too much, very dark skins, heme iron, the organism reacts erratically to its environment. Confusion, hopelessness, or helplessness reigns. We know blood can become magnetized in experiments of blood flow from fingertips to arms by using generators. If these primal people had a good copper, zinc, iron balance to create a green complexion, they would have literally been able to magnetize metal themselves without injury as they generated enough electricity. The distal veins of the hands carry impulses to the bronchial arteries, and if they were holding an iron object, they will magnetize it. Now, I'm not saying this. This is Dr. Lana Cantrell, and she wrote the book. The book is about this damn thick, y'all, but it's called The Greatest Secret, or The Greatest Story Never Told. The Greatest Story Never Told. All right. So she's telling you about at one time that we had green skin. Now, I'm not the first to say this. I heard Dr. Deborah Blair tell us the same information nearly 25 years ago. All right. I heard Baba Phil Valentine tell us this information nearly 25 years ago. I heard Dr. York tell us the same information in several books over 20 years ago. So this is nothing new, but the book in which that they got this information from is this book that I'm telling you right here, The Greatest Story Never Told by Dr. Lana Cantrell. All right. So when people saying that Dr. York is crazy and all of this, yo, he didn't make the shit up. He read, he studied. He told you that if you don't believe me, go and check it out. Go and check that shit out. All right. So why your blood type matters. Let's see. If you're searching for a nutritional edge or the next level of energy and performance, discovering the importance of your blood type can open up a whole new world of healthy solutions individualized to you. So what does the knowledge of blood types do? Well, energy, many popular natural ingredients, tonics and energizing, can activate one person, while the identical ingredient can leave another feeling lethargic and drained. How do you know which ingredients work best for you? Knowing your blood type can be the key. Mental focus and clarity. Some popular brain and mind herbs such as ginkgo, ginkgo biloba, guardicola, ginseng, St. John worts, valerian root, kava kava, all right, lobelia. Some popular brain and mind herbs and nutrients actually make some blood types feel brain fog or mentally unfocused. Are all of your herbs and vitamins right for you? Stress reduction. According to Dr. Peter D'Adamo, pioneering blood type research reveals that different blood types respond to stressors in different ways. So if you're stressed, just like we talked about with the sister, with the hair issues, blood type individualized nutrients can help you better handle the effects of occasional stress. That's if you're eating right for your blood types. That's if you utilizing food as your medicines and medicines as your food. Allegedly, Hippocrates said that. But we know that the real father of medicine was Imhotep, biblically known as Joseph. Weight loss. Paradoxically, many common weight loss products contain common ingredients that may cause you to actually gain weight. Discover which of these ingredients work for you by discovering your blood type. Knowing your blood types give you an extra nutritional edge and makes all the difference in your health and well-being. All right. Now, you can get several books. It's called The 4 Blood Types, 4 Diets, Eat Right for Your Blood Type, The Individualized Blood Type Diet Solution by Dr. Peter J. D'Adamo. All right. You also have The 4 Blood Types, 4 Diet Cook Right for Your Type by Dr. Peter J. D'Adamo. All right. So you definitely want to check those books out. A lot of information is in those books. So we recommend that you definitely get your hands on it. See, she also, now let's get back to Dr. Lana Cantrell. She said something very important in The Greatest Story Never Told. She said that scientists now have to come in to admit that our fleshly bodies are more of clay. Now, this correlates to the Bible. Now, you, of course, I don't want to get too biblical on some of you. Some of y'all have a problem with the Bibles. But if you look at it as a science book instead of just a regular book, more of an esoteric book, then you wouldn't have a problem with it. But of course, this is for those who want to take their research to the next level and not dwell in kindergarten. But when you look at it biblically, Genesis, the 5th chapter, the 1st verse, it says, male and female created he them and blessed them and called their name Adam. So male and female were called Adam. Hence, the carbon atom, the self-created one that emerged from out of the primordial waters of life, noon. All right. Now, the waters of life. All right. They talking about hydrogen. Hydro means water. Gen, as in generator, means fire. So hydrogen actually is the combination of water and fire. And thus all of the elements are made from hydrogen. Hydro, water. All right, hydro, you get it? Hydronate. You are dehydrated. Hydrate, you get it? Water, hydrogen, water, fire. Two elements combined to make the one element on the periodical chart, technically. And from out of that, the sixth element from hydrogen is carbon, the sixth element on the periodical chart. Hence the reason why they say that Adam was created on the sixth day. And hence you have the signs of male and female created he them and blessed them and called their name Adam. Adam is actually Atom. And from the Kemetic teachings, Atum. All right. The self-created one. The sixth element was the self-created one, because everything has carbon. All living beings have carbon. So on the walls, you see Khnum, and on his potter's wheel, he is making and forming the Ba and the Ka, symbolic to Adam and Eve. And the goddess Sheket is holding up an Ankh to the noses. In other words, the breath of life. Hence, symbolic to the mother principle, giving us the breath of life. So the Neter Khnum and the Neter Sarket, which is actually another form of Het Heru or Hathor, at the potter's wheel. And the potter's wheel is symbolic to the zodiac in Greek, meaning animal will. Giving life and fashioning the Ka, the spirit, equals Eve, and the Ba, soul, equals Adam. Amen-Ra is also called Khnum, which is the creator and the fashioner of the bodies of men. You getting this? See, this is where you can take the information from the ancient Kemetic script and show the world religions evolving from out of ancient Kemet, the ancient Africans. And I'm just saying ancient Egyptians and ancient Africans because this is where we find information at. But there's also information here in the Americas, in the Grand Canyon with its 18 temples, Egyptian, Kemetic, Temerian temples dedicated to the various deities and natures from the Kemetic or Temerian pantheon. All right. So when you go and look at Kanum actually, the word noom, Kanum, C-H, noom, N-U-M, Kanum, Kanum. Kanum is birth, creation, and life itself. That's what metaphysically is. So it wasn't a so-called ram-headed deity. That ram symbolized that raw sexual energy. That's what that ram symbolized, Aries, the head. That's what that is symbolic to. All right, that raw sexual energy. All right, Aries is the first zodiac principle. All right, Kanum is the form of the self. He gave the power to procreate to female through metal. Check this out now. Metal. Check this out. Mitochondrial DNA. Mito, M-I-T-O, mito. Then you have C-H-O-N-D-R-I. Then you have A-L. But the C-H-O-N is con. Con is where you get kanum. All right? So the mitochondrial DNA is what gives her the power to give birth. Right? So we find that Hathor or Saket, all right, who's there at the potter's wheel, along with Kanum. It says, fashion for me the body of my daughter and the body of her Ka, said Amen-Ra. A great queen shall I make of her, and honor and power shall be worthy of her dignity and glory. O Amen-Ra, answered Kanum, it shall be done as you have said. The beauty of your daughter shall surpass that of gods and shall be worthy of her dignity and glory. So Kanum fashioned the body of Amen-Ra's daughter and body of her Ka. The two forms exactly alike and more beautiful than the daughters of men. He fashioned them of clay with the air of his potter's wheel and Haket. All right, Haket or Seket or Hathor. All right, known as Heru, goddess of birth, kneeled by his side, holding the sign of life, the Ankh, towards the clay and the bodies of the Hatshepsut, and her Ka might be filled with the breath of life. This is from an Egyptian, Kemetic, Temerian script, from what we refer to as the Book of Coming Forth by Day and Night, misnomer the Book of the Dead, also part of the coffin text and pyramid text, which is actually a part of that text. So we find that Kanum, and Hatshepsut was during the time of the 18th dynastic period. All right. And Hatshepsut was the first pharaoh sis. All right. But Kanum, which is Num, N-U-M, become Nom, N-O-M, become Nomos, M-O-N-M-O-S. But Kanum is a form of Heru, the Messen. The Messen, M-E-S-S-E-N, Messen is mason or architect. Thus, Heru is also a potter, as in Heru is the word Haru. Haru becomes Harry Potter, the magician, the movie character that everybody loved talking about, Harry Potter. They all went to the wizardry school of Harry Potter, the magician, but that is Haru Potter, which is Kanum. His other name is Kenim, or Kenimu, which means to join, to unite, or to build. All right? And that is talking about when the sperm hits the ovum, which is the nucleus of the egg, and it begins to start going through cellular division. This is what this is really talking about, y'all. All right. Thank you, Miss Candace. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you for answering your questions about the extreme. Okay, here. Okay, word. Thank you, Goddess. Appreciate that. All right. So this is Harry Potter. The mythology of Harry Potter is from Off the Walls of Ancient Kemet also, which is Heru, the Potter, which is actually Kanum. Because once again, Kanum's other form is Heru, the hero. Haru, the sun. All right. And it's talking about the sun in Aries, the first sign. All right. So Kanum sign is a ram, just like Amin Ra, or Amin sign is a ram. This is the same sign for Amin the ram, right? So astrologically, Aries symbol is a ram too. Even so, Kanim refers to the conjunction of the sun and the moon at starting season of the year, or Aries. All right, because Aries is the first sign. It's during the time of spring. All right, finally getting into spring now in most places. The constellation Aries is I am, begins with the sun in the sign of Aries 4,000 years ago and ended 2,000 years ago. Thus Jesus was born, hence the reason why he was the little lamb, supposedly 2,000 years ago, right? And thus he would have been called the lamb. A ram is a male sheep or lamb, and it represents the month of April or spring, the vernal equinox, and is sun passing from the dead of winter solstice to the resurrection of the spring equinox. This is what this is really talking about. So the Tamarayans or the Kemetans or Egyptians recognize the fact that the sheep, lamb, ram makes the sound ba, 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 which means in the Metru Neter, the soul. Therefore, the ram symbolized the soul principle. You get that soul, that glow, you know you get that glow. All right, that soul glow. Right, Eddie Murphy. And the dragon and the last dragon, you know what I'm saying? Soul glow. Shh, 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 shh. All right. So the Kemetans, the Egyptians associated a ram, sheer's force, because when you see them motherfuckers come, God, that's that sheer force, yo. That's that raw sexual energy. And thus, Kanum is also linked to fertility. Right? Therefore, metaphysically, Kanum symbolized the process of birth, procreation, and life itself. He, Kanum, Nomo, give the power to procreate to female through mitochondrial DNA. Chondru is a powerhouse, what force of the cell. What is mitochondrial? Mitochondrial consumed sugars that our body has converted from food, and return produce electricity, in which powers the cell. Now, if you don't know, juices and berries, also from Coming to America, the juices and berries is what give you the power, the sugar, the natural sugar. All right. The metaphysical cause of diabetes is you've lost the sweetness of life. So you must add sweetness back into your life. And you do that through the fruits. It goes to the roots. All right. So you must have the fruits. All right. In particular, the berries. All right. Strawberries, cranberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, huckleberries. All right. Acai berries, however you want to pronounce it. All right. Goji berries. The superfood berries, but you must have them. All right. This is what gives you the energy that your body needs to regenerate itself, to move them little sperms and shit, brothers. because the tail part of the sperm head, the tail part is mitochondrial DNA. And you must have enough energy to get the sperm after you ejaculate for it to swim up the canal into the ovum to the egg so it can begin cellular division. But if you don't got enough power to get there, well, you're sterile. And this is what is going on. They have sterilized us based on the food that we eat. That's what GMO food is for. Fluoride in the water, that's what that is for. Chemtrails, which is strontium, barium, aluminum, is in the so-called chemtrails. So they are attempting to make you sterile. This is part of the eugenics program under the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, the devils themselves. This is what this is all about. All right. So you must have organic, live, electrical juices and berries on the daily. Every day you must get some juices and berries. Make that shit into a nice smoothie and drink that shit down. Lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. That's Eddie Murphy too, goddamn it. If you don't remember Raw, I get raw. All right. So that's old dirty B. You don't know nothing about that. That's old school right there. You know what I mean? All right. So, so basically, mitochondrial DNA has its own DNA which is usually unaffected by other genetic exchanges. All right. For example, a genetic mix of your parents, each of which contribute half of your genetic material. This means if it is possible to backtrack in the genetic process to your grandparents, you're already a genetic mix of 6 distinct individuals who may have come from different regions of the planet. But yet, one important ingredient remains constant, and that is the mitochondrial DNA does not change at all. It remains intact through the female line. The male sperm, usually, however, contains only enough mitochondrial DNA to power the sperm to the surface of the egg. And then the tail breaks off, and then the head of the sperm have to blow up to the equivalent size of the ovum, which is the nucleus of the egg, to begin cellular division. If it cannot and does not, then there is no life that will manifest. All right? So, contains only enough mitochondria to power the sperm to the surface of the egg, and this is usually does not enter the egg. All right, it does not usually enter the egg, even though there are some accounts where it has entered the egg. Now, the egg, however, contains mitochondrial DNA that has been passed from the mother to daughter for countless generations. Meto is from the Greek word mentos, which means warp threads. So they already know, all right? They already knew or know about the signs of DNA. And chondria is also from a Greek word, which means chondrion. Now, chondrion is the diminutive of chondros, which means grain or granular or granule. The moon is chondra in the Vedic text, Sanskrit teachings, and the male sperm is also called chondra in the Vedic Sanskrit teachings. The Twa people, also known as the Twahites, pygmies, called him Khnum. He was the supreme serpent god. So not only was his image a ram, but his image was also the supreme serpent god, the Nagas. The Naga. He is the god of the rainbow, all right? And the 7 rays of the sun, hence, i.e., Samson had 7 locks, symbolic to the 7 rays of the sun. He was also called Num-Ra. Num-Ra becomes Nimrod, the son of Cush, black, in the Holy Bible. The serpent and his 7 heads refers to the Kundalini, and the 7 chakras or energy centers or melanin seats in the body. In the Holy Bible, it is the 7 seals, Revelation 5:1. They say a book written within, which is talking about your brain, DNA, and the nerve cells in the body. And on the back side, it says, which is actually the spinal column and its 33 vertebrae and 33 nerves, sealed with its 7 seals, the 7 major Ibusu, Obusu, or Ibusia, which is known as your chakras or shinkaras along the spinal cord column and in the brain, also called the 7 souls of Ra. Now, ancient Egyptians called Khnum by another name, Ptah. And it says that Ptah had 7 Khnum, or Khnum, which is also Khnum. All right, 7 of them, and they was known as the 7 sons of Ra, or the 7 souls of Ra. All right, so he had 7 Nemu or Nomos, which becomes the Anunnaki or Onans, called the 7 souls of Ra. So Ptah had his 7 sons. All right, even the so-called Comanche, the native indigenous tribes, is also known as the Numu Nu, the Numu Nu, which means the serpent people or the snake people. Okay, this is what we're talking about. So this is the science here. If you go to the ancient Sumerian texts, they teach you about the god Enki or Ea, symbolize the planet Neptune and the constellation Aquarius. All right, and what you find is he's fashioning man or Lulu in his image. All right, and behind Enki is a tree of life. All right, and Enki or Ea in his other form is Nomo or Dagon, symbolizing the sperm in the development of male-female child. All right, once again, Enki Ea in his other form is Nomo or Dagon, symbolizes the sperm into the development of a male-female child. So, Nomo, Khnum, Dagon is talking about the sperm. What is sperm? What is semen? Semen, sperm, in order to even form the life essence, is taken from the blood. One semen droplet is made from 40 to 80. So we just say 60 drops of blood. So 60 concentrated drops of blood is what forms one droplet of semen. 1. 60. 60. Concentrated drops of blood. All right. So blood is the life essence. Blood is the life essence, y'all. All right. And so we want to get into more of the science of how this took place. All right. Before we even get to the real information. And remember, this is just part of the information that I will be giving for those that have subscribed to Patreon. Because Patreon is basically where you can go and see the full 6-7 hour video that I will be doing. All right, this is just going to be like about maybe 2.5 hours. But if you want to see the rest of this shit, which I recommend you sign up to Patreon, because 7 hours worth of this information, this shit here is mind blowing, and I will destroy all mythology and put it in its proper context the best I possibly can. All right. So what we know is that the word Dagon, which is Sumerian or Akkadian, Assyrian in particular, we find that the word Dagon is actually taken from the Dogon. And the Dogon say that the first 8 ancestors, which is talking about the 8 cells that came from when the sperm hit the ovum, which is the nucleus of the egg, to go into cellular division. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do you appreciate? Right. So those 8 ancestors who you appreciate, the Nomo, they were the amphibious beings. They looked like a cross between a dolphin and humans. Dolphins and humans. And this is nothing more than a picture talking about when you begin to start going through from a amoeba to a protozoa form to become a fetus. Right? And they travel from Sirius to Earth in a pyramid-shaped craft called the corona. All right. Now, what is that pyramidal-shaped craft? What is that talking about? From Sirius to Earth. That is talking about the vortex. That is talking about when your mom and father were in the sexual act, there was a vortex that opened up. That vortex opened up into a pyramidal shape craft known as the corona. The corona. All right. And so Unam, the progenitors of the humanity rode in the corona, which contained food that they needed to plant on Earth. Now, this also correlate to when Credo Moutoir spoke about the fact that these creatures, these beings, all right, came from Mars, all right, and it wasn't creatures in the way that you was thinking. It actually was you and I. And what happened was that the males impregnated the women on Mars, and those Martians formed their bodies into ships, and they came here. They was called the Macabres. These women came here. All right. Now, explain this as easy as I possibly can for the people. All right. There was a destruction that took place. There was a planet that used to sit between Jupiter and Mars. Now we refer to it as the asteroid belt. But at one time, that was a planet. All right. In fact, part of that planet was our planet. All right. It was called Tiamat. And there was a planet-sized asteroid. Some call it an asteroid, but we call it a planetoid. It was and it also had a moon with it, in which that it was known as Moldic and Malona. Vulcan. This is where the Vulcan information come from as far as on Star Wars. All right. Now, what happened was that planet destroyed the planet, blew off the surface beings that was on Mars. Those beings impregnated, all right, the male species impregnated the women, and the women transformed their bodies into ships and came to Earth. Right? Now, there was already beings that still survived, all right, in the waters on the planet Earth, which was once called Tiamat. Right? The broken up parts in which that is in the asteroid belt is the remnants of Tiamat, Malona, and what we now refer to as Maldek. All right. Now there is that's basically the Sumerian text of the formation of the solar system. That's basically what they're telling us. Right. Credo Moutoir breaks it down that the Martians, which were us, originally dwelled on Mars prior to that catastrophe, and we came here to the planet Earth. All right, but there was also beings already here on planet Earth, which is also part of our lineage and heritage. All right, and then you had other beings that came and began to start doing genetic testing and combining. All right, which that's another lesson within itself. But You'll get a lot of this information in the 7-hour lecture that I will be putting up real soon on Patreon. So if you want to see that, go and link yourself up to my Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/Dr. Alim Bey. All right, so they look like a cross between dolphins and humans as they cross from Sirius to Earth. All right. So the foods that they brought with them that they needed to plant on Earth, they ate celestial grains or millet, black rice, chickpea, teff, sorghum, wheat, kamut, brown rice, maize, gungan, and the pigeon pea. The Dogon say that the corona contain all of the material, information, and science that humanity would need to make the Earth's environment compatible for human existence. All right, this is what the Dogons is telling us. So not only is the Dogon telling us this, the Sumerians telling us this, the Mesopotamians are telling us this, the Akkadians are telling us this, and the Assyrians are telling us this. God damn, that's enough telling. And they all go back to the ancient Egypt, because Egypt tells us the same information, right? Ancient Kemites, Temerians. All right, so we know that the Dogon say that their astronomy, their knowledge of the astronomy of the stars and astrology and astronomy, their knowledge was given to them, they say, by the Nomo, which is an amphibious being, once again, all right, sent to Earth from Sirius for the benefit of mankind, or better yet, of humanity. The name came from the Dogon word meaning to make one drink. And the Nomos is also called the masters of the water, the monitor, and the teachers. Now, the Dogon tells that the legend about the Nomos, awful-looking beings who arrived in a vessel along with fire and thunder. After they arrive here, they put out a reservoir, as in a lake of water, onto the earth. They dove into the waters. They're referred to in the oral traditions, drawings, and cuneiform tablets of the Dogons, the human-looking beings who have feet, but who are portrayed as having large fish skin running down their body. The Nomos are more fish-like than human and had to live in water. They were saviors and spiritual guardians. The Nomos, Christ divided his body among men and fed them, as this is why it is said that, as in the universe, he drunk of his body. So hence the reason why they say for those who believe in Jesus, to eat of his flesh and drink of his blood. The Nomos also made man drink. He gave all his life principle to human beings. The Nomo was crucified and resurrected, and in the future will again visit the earth. Remember, this is why Jesus is the fish. On the back of every good Christian car, they have Ikiti, which is the fish. All right, same thing. This is the same thing that they talk about. The Nomos were crucified and resurrected. Nomo was crucified and resurrected, and in the future will return again and visit the earth, this time in human form. Later, he will assume his amphibious form and will rule the world from the waters. Dogon mythology is known only by a number of their priests and a complex system of knowledge. Such careful guarded secrets would not be divulged to friendly strangers very easily. If the star Emiya is eventually discovered in a Sirius system, this will give considerable weight to the Dogon story, which it has been found. 1995, they found Emiya, which is Sirius C. You have Ziggy Tolo, Polo Tolo, Sirius A's and B, and then you have Emiya, which is Sirius C, which has already been found since 1995. So the Nomos will give life on land, but dwells mostly in the sea, and will part fish. This is the mermaid, or merfolks, mermen. Similar creatures have been noted in other ancient civilizations: Sumer, Babylonia's Ones, Akkadian Ea, which is Suma's Enki, and Egyptian goddess Set or Isis. It was from the Nomos that the Dogons claim their knowledge of the heavens. And the Dogon also claims that a third star, Emiya, existed, and actually would be the star or the planet of the crossing that would come into our sight, which actually has already came into our sight. Many and most people have not even recognized it yet. All right, this is what's going on, yo. So, metaphysically, however, this ugly looking creature that arrived on the vessel along of fire and thunder is talking about sex, fire and desire. Feel it coming through. You felt it coming through. You felt that shit coming through, and it came through fire and thunder. That damn thunder was that organ. Oh. That was the thunder, niggas. The fire was the base chakra. The color is red. The devil. That's the devil. That's why they equate sex with the devil. That's why the Pope wears the goddamn fish crown. All right? The Pope wear the fish crown. That's the same as the priesthood of the Dagon that the Dogon speaks of. This is why Jesus said that he was in the belly of the whale, that he would be like Jonah with 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish of the whale. So the Son of Man would be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. This is in the book of Matthew, the 12th chapter. Jesus said he would be like that. Astrologically, that's Cetus, Cetus, Cetus. Cetus actually is a whale, and actually the sun comes through Pisces, and before it gets to Aquarius, it actually goes into the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights. See, this shit is also astrological. So as above, so below. As within, so without. You get it? Right? This the science, goddammit. This is the science. This is the science. That's right. Cosmo-organic or cosmogasm. Cosmogasm. Exactly. Got it. There we go. All right. So, all right, let's get back to the blood. The blood of Jesus. Let's get back to the blood of Jesus. All right. Which is your blood, niggas. That's your shit. Your blood is the blood of Jesus. I just want y'all to know. All right. Yours is the blood of Jesus. So, all right. So, the Dogons say that we came from Sirius. In other words, the constellation Sirius plays a direct influence in the structuring of the human body, of the physical body, especially our DNA. All right. When the rays come through the solar system, the first planet the Sirius rays hits is the planet Saturn. Saturn is what forms our physical body into existence. The rays of Saturn, the influence of Saturn. Our skeleton system, our blood, and our DNA is manufactured by the influence of Saturn. This is why the Jews, Hebrews, Israelites, and everybody else worship Saturn, because it receives the energy first from Sirius, because Saturn used to be our sun. All right, Saturn was a sun. It used to be our sun. So one of the first planet that the Sirius energy hits is Saturn. All right. This is why if you're a Hebrew Israelite or Jehovah's Witness, you worship on Saturday. You worship Saturn, Satan. All right. Satan is nothing more than Titan, as Bobby already told you. It's talking about the thing of clay. It's talking about your physical body. Your physical body is Saturn or Satan. Hence the reason why it's 666. Carbon. All right? Stop being scared of your goddamn self or this damn dumb shit. Niggas scared of a planet. Oh, the planet is Saturn and his name's Satan. Oh shit. This is how you have these dumbasses, Illuminati, freaked out motherfuckers sound. This is how these motherfuckers be sounding. This is how young Pharaoh was sounding when he was trying to get at Bobby. Sound like a goddamn Christian. This is not Christian information in that sense. It is, but it's not. Because Jesus told you about Saturn or the Sabbath. He said the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. And this is where everybody else fuck up at. Jesus was saying, look, we made the day Saturday for the acknowledgement of Saturn for us to be in the physical body because it helped to influence the physical body, us to have a physical body. Hence, symbolic to also in a form or a sense, idolatroth. Just like our sun, also symbolic to idolatroth. But Saturn at one time, because it was our sun, was also symbolic to idolatroth. Saturn happens to be the influence over the astrological sign of Capricorn, of the constellational sign of Capricorn, zodiac sign of Capricorn. Hence the goat, the greatest of all times. Which, if you see an image of Canaan, not only did it look like a ram, but it also looked like a goat. And sheeps and goats, or rams and sheeps and goats, all say bah. They cousins. Except the goat got straighter hair, while the sheeps and ram got woolly hair. Right? But this is what's going on, y'all. All right. So you'll see on the walls of ancient Kemet, the star, which is Soptis, which is Sirius, and the rays is beaming down to the forehead, to the third eye area of man. And in front of him is a is a falcon or hawk with a human head on it, which is symbolic to Heru. And this is how you attune. This is the attunement with the cosmic energies of Soptics. Okay. Now, this is interesting because Mantak Chia mentioned all these goddamn constellations to meditate, but he don't never mention Sirius. He always mentions the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, and all this. But he'll never tell you about the constellation that you come from. Sirius, the bright morning star. Because it comes up 2 minutes before the sun does. But so does Venus. Venus is also called the bright and morning star. Sirius is also, and Venus is also called the evening stars too. So see, this is why you have to determine, is it talking about Venus, which isn't a star, or is it talking about Sirius A, which is a star? All right. One is a planet, one is a star. But even on the flag of those who study the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, you have Venus, which is the planet of love. It has a 5-pointed star formation. All right. Same as you see here. But this particular 5-pointed star is Soptics, which is Sirius. This is Sirius, the Eastern star. This is why you turn towards the east. This is where this concept of turning towards the east comes from. Not to just make salat, but to focus your energies at the third eye coming from the star constellation Sirius. Let's get serious. Let's get serious for your love. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. All right. Y'all know it. All right. We sung it before to you. You got to understand what's going on. All right. So, all right. Then you had certain entities. Now, y'all might have remember. This is from a book called The Voice of Silence, which the connection is explained in depth. It says, now coming back to Sirius, which is 20 times brighter than Earth's sun and over twice as large as planet Earth, has the most significant connection to relationship with Earth and its human race than any other star system in our galaxy. Sirius is, in fact, the higher presence of our entire solar system, in which Earth and all its co-planets must ascend to gain ultimate freedom. Sirius is also known as the great instructor of humanity, the source of higher mind. However, Earth is connected to Sirius through a silver cord of light that finally connects all light forms to the Creator God. Earth shares a negative polarity with Sirius and is physically, psychically influenced through 3 pivotal planets: Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. Saturn. This is from the book, The Voice of Silence. The Voice of Silence. Now, so as you heard, Sirius is, the Earth is connected to Sirius by way of those 3 planets, in particular Saturn, which is the last one mentioned. Actually should be the first one mentioned because it's the one that the rays of the sun Sirius hit first. That is the matrix. That is what formed our physical body into existence, y'all. Is that astrological influence through Sirius. And this is also what gives us the ability to have to reincarnate over and over again. When they see this white light at the end of the tunnel, that's Sirius. All right. For those whose heart is heavier than a feather, Sirius, you go to Sirius, you see the white light and you come back. That's what's at the end of the tunnel. Nothing bad, you know what I'm saying? It ain't all like that. But many people don't told us about that. Those who had near-death experience, those who have out-of-body experiences, those who even died and was declared dead for minutes, 15 minutes or more, have seen it. And was told and instructed, take your ass back. Okay. Everybody got it? All right. So why Saturn? Because remember, Saturn, once again, is what influences the structuring of your skeleton system, your DNA, and blood. Blood. It is also what keeps this matrix intact. Right? Along with the moon, which I won't get into the moon thing yet. Told you that's part of the 7-hour joint that you're going to have to listen to, because I got like over 1,000 slides that I'm going to be going through. You're just going through maybe 100 tonight. Maybe. All right? Maybe. But anyway, and you won't be able to see the slides on that 7-hour presentation. I can't show you the slides because I had to use another computer because This other computer is effed up right now, but but it will be in full detail. All right. But anyway, what happens is that you had an individual by the name the doctor from NASA. His name is Norman Bertrand. Norman Bertrand. He said he wrote the book called The Ring Makers of Saturn. Right. He's an NACA and NASA member. Now, Norman Bertrand, he described seeing 7-foot black people in a giant ship vehicle in Saturn. Right. In the video, a Albion woman is interviewing him, and she said, "Oh, you mean dark-skinned people?" And Norman Bertrand says, "Black people." Right? He says, and so she said dark skin, and the NASA Norman Bertrand made it clear and said no, black. He said black, right? And so if you want to see that, you're gonna get 7-foot black people from outer space, and he tell you that these niggas is in the rings of Saturn. That's the matrix. The rings is what helps influences the matrix. The entities in Voyager was captured. This is how they say they looked. Now, Bertram said they was black. Norman Bertram said they was black. But this is how they claim that they look. All right. This is what we say. This is how we say that they looked. All right. Now, Dr. York did something very important. Yeah, you might not like him. Who give a fuck? All right. Stop mixing up the damn message with the messenger. Obviously, you never read the message, so therefore you don't give and you don't have an appreciation for the shit that this nigga put out. This nigga was deadly in the late 80s and 90s. Nobody was fucking with him with information. Him and his group known as the Ansar Allah Numinate Islamic Hebrews, which I was one of, known as the 10th of Kedar, known as the 10th of Abraham, known as his name was Rabboni Yeshua, until he became Dr. York L. or Dr. Malachi Z. York L. In the Ansar cult, the truth about the Ansar Allah community in America, truth is truth, rebuttal to the slanderers. In that book, he says what happened after Iblis was cast down from heaven. He says when the 200 fallen angels fell from grace with Iblis, they settled in the land that they was later called Nod. The 200 fallen angels, angelic beings from the cherubims, the bad angelic beings, also called the jinn, took on form of human beings and who was black-skinned male and females. This is what he's saying now. When the verb shata is chosen as the root of shaitan, it describes Satan's dual nature. When he becomes Jan and his race of evil forces on earth, when the jinn manifests in human form, they were the offspring of Canaan, the Canaanites. Now, he goes into Genesis, the 6th chapter, the 4th verse, and he says there were giants in the earth in those days. And after that, when the son of Allah came into the daughters of men and they bare children of them, the same became mighty men, which were old men of renown. All right. Now, he goes on. These cherubims, or the 200 fallen angelic beings who followed Iblis, were known by several other Hebrew names, such as the Gibberim, and which means he prevailed, Enachim, and Raphim, and the Emim, and the Zazumim, These were titles describing either beings of great spirituality or those possessed of much evil. In this group were also the wicked giants of the Akkadian, all right, the Anakim, who were descendants of Anak. In the time of the prophet Noah, before the flood, these beings caused much evil to spread on the earth, and these demons in human form corrupted the human race morally, turning the minds of men and causing them to indulge in every conceivable wickedness in an effort to gain more followers for Shaitan. Now, of course, you can take this as a Bible story, as most Christians would, and have that dualism or that dichotomy, that paradox, and you have to choose a side. Right? Once you reach your higher self, you are who you are. I am that which that I am. Iya asha iya. Nuk pu nuk. I am that which that I am. There is no longer a duality. That is for those who's beneath you, who want to argue and debate on who's right and who's wrong, disagreeable and agreeable, right and wrong. We walk the middle path. So I ain't with the left-hand path by itself. I'm not with the right-hand path by itself. We combine both paths. This is what my teacher taught me, Sunyata Saraswati, Tantra Kriya Yoga. We walk the middle path. Buddhism talks about the middle path. Islam talks about the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight and narrow path. You ain't picking no side. We God, Goddess, Netaru, Neter, Neter, Netere, Elohim, Elo, Ela. Anunnaki, Igigi, Enu, Enak. Enak is Anuak. Can't pick a side. Because a lot of the things in which that you have biblically, you'll find in the Sumerian text and you find in ancient Kemet. And if you get caught up in just looking at it from one side, then you failed the test. You failed the test. All right. So let's look at this some more here. He goes on to the next page. He breaks this shit down. The Nephilim is another name for the mental giant. The word Nephilim takes the root from Nephilah, meaning supererogatory, gift, present, performance, being above, which is command, or a gift of over or above, which is asked. They inhabit the kingdom of Salam, in which Melchizedek reigned over. The children of Akhenak were Nephilim. They lived near Abram. There were also Nephilims of the negative character described by the Hebrew word Nephi. He fell. They were beings of an angelic nature who fell from grace. All right, so they fell. You know, you gotta do like Donnie Kirkland shit. We fall down, but we get up. Get your ass up. Wake your punk ass up. All right. The Minju giants, 200 fallen angels, angelic beings of cherubim set up the land of Nod. The word Nod, wonders of wilderness. When Cain was cast out from among his family and cursed by God for killing his brother Abel, he went to dwell in the land of Nod. What Christians do not seem to address is that if there was only the prophet Adam, his wife Hawa, or Eve, and Cain on the planet Earth, where did the people that you find mentioned in Genesis 4:16 dwelling in the land of Nod come from? All right. So, good question. They don't know the answer, but we just told you. But let's get to where these beings were. All right, check this out. During the flood, these fallen angelic beings took flight and went to Saturn to dwell. Oh shit! Oh shit! After the flood, they returned to the planet Earth to set up the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. In the present day, we are living in the new city of Sodom, and these evil, fallen, angelic beings that exist right on Earth with us. Where did they go? They went to Saturn. Where's this mentioned at? This is mentioned in the book of Enoch. But you got to understand that this is all symbolic. See, you getting caught up in the fucking stories. In the stories. It's metaphysical. The 200 fallen angels is the 200 bones in your body. Remember, I told you that Saturn influences the bone structure, your skeleton system. So the 200 fallen angels are your bones, because you have approximately 200 bones in your body when you are an adult. You get it? According to the book of Enoch, the first 10 angels appeared with Tarnish, and then 204 later following Azazel, Satan, thus making 210 fallen angels or angles of light, which formed our physical body structure called our skeleton system. Approximately 210 bones after fusion 206 to be right and exact. In fact, according to Jewish law, of 200 fallen angels were first on the planet Saturn. According to astrology, Saturn is the black planet. You get it? And it has a direct influence upon the formation of our skeleton system, our blood supply, and our DNA manufacturing. All right, look, god damn. Look. I done broke this shit down. This is why you got to have research skills. You can't rely upon one book. You can't fuck with Google every goddamn second. All these goddamn Google fucking scholars. And y'all be watching these fucking damn Google scholars, and these niggas don't be giving you no book that's taking you straight to Google. Google is good, goddamn it, but that's like an icing on a cake after you done research your shit in a library. And you done read hundreds and thousands of books, pamphlets, articles, magazines. Then you go to Google and get some good shit, and you attach that shit to what you've already studied. But that shit is not primary. Google is not primary. That's some secondary shit. Primary is actual books. The reason why I can put this shit together and make it so damn clearer than most people on YouTube, is because I read hundreds and thousands of books in libraries around the fucking world. This is Saturn. As the cube-shaped hexagram, as they refer to it as, which the Kaaba in Mecca is based on, because Saturn, Satan, Saturn, day. This is an infrared photograph of one of the gigantic cylinder objects taken by the Hubble telescope in the rings of Saturn. You see this shit? This right here? Hold up, let's go, god damn it, let's go back. There we go, that mug right there. Right there. This is what these black men, 7 feet tall men, this is their ship. That's in the rings of Saturn. Not only did they put the damn rings there for a time period, but now they are destabilizing the rings of Saturn. Saturn is losing its rings, meaning that the matrix is being broken down. Why? Because the gods on this planet are risen, has risen. It was only for a time period to be stuck in the matrix. We could not allow lower entities that did not learn their life lessons, these Maldekians, we had to form bodies for them. And we put them in bodies that was lesser, had lesser magnetic properties, i.e. the Albion. This is why he was made to inhabit the Maldekian spirits. They destroyed their world. However, we still had to give them a chance because they was in our solar system. Therefore, that was our brothers and sisters. So we said, look, we'll allow for you to incarnate, however, not within us, but we'll make bodies for you, a golem, clay bodies for you. And this is how this happened. I'll go into more of this information within the 7-hour joint. Best believe that. Yeah, I'm doing a Bobby Hemmett on this shit. Because we're going to have to get this information. We ain't got no choice. We're going to have to get that. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to have to get that. So, this is what we was talking about. The destruction that happened on Mars, Tridamutois, in the Zulu Bone Oracle book. He breaks this down. This is what it says. Check this out. The Zulu claim Earth as their seventh world. Seventh. In their sixth world, the planet Mars, the forerunners of Zulu in all southern African tribes were severely threatened by a powerful foe from another world and saw that the chance of saving themselves was slim indeed. They proceeded to prepare their weapons and then went one step further in an attempt to save the race. The fairest of all their women were impregnated by menfolk and then placed in cylinder flying crafts, each with 3 wheels. Now, understand that this is talking about the 3 higher, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. The lower energies was pulled up into those 3 higher chakras, forming and shaping what we now call the macabre. And they was able to take their consciousness into this world now known as the 7th world. All right. From the 6th world, which was the planet Mars. These 6 vehicles was known throughout Central and Southern Africa as Merkaba. Merkaba. The Merkaba were sent off on course of Earth, and thus were the women transported to safety on this planet to give birth to their offsprings and continue the race. Now, you don't believe that shit is true? Well, you go and fuck with a scientist. Scientists discovered the human circadian rhythm is set to the planet Mars. Now what? See, this is research. This is research. So not only do you have it in black, you have it in white. The European scientists also have confirmed that the human circadian rhythm is based on the same aspect as Mars. So you are part Martians. You are the Martians. This is what the Supergirl show shit is about. John is a so-called black man in appearance here, but he's a green Martian. And they was fighting against the white Martians, which destroyed their goddamn planet. I'm just saying, yo. I mean, yo, oh Lord, you got to start paying the goddamn attention. You gotta start paying attention. All right. You don't believe me? Here go another European. Get the book, Explorer Race. Explorer Race. All right, let's look at this. Let's read this shit. I would say that the Syrians, both positive and negative, were here about the same time. They were the founding beings. The Syrians had been involved in the beginning of the seeding of this planet in the creation of dark-skinned races. The area of the Pleiades, all right? The Syrian created beings here, the Tone civilization, or their offshoot, including Jehovah's group and other representatives from very positive and loving places on Sirius, who followed Jehovah millions of years later, all have one thing in common: dark skin. You pale skins didn't come along until a whole lot later. Dark like Africans or Indians, or like African, and ranging all the way to lighter skinned people from India and possibly as light as olive, like people from the Mediterranean. We're talking about all ranges from dark to olive. No pale faces until much later. Do you know why? They felt that not only were they already that color, but that the sun's energy was so strong. These beings, the third planet from this being the third planet from the sun, that dark-skinned races would be able to be more durable. I might add that light-skinned races were really never intended to be on this planet. Johnny come latelys. Now, this is what the book says. This is by Robert Shapiro. Zosh, or Zosh, the end time historian. He's channeling this information from Zush. All right, Zosh. And Robert Shapiro wrote that in The Explorer Race. And he says that so-called blacks are the Syrian beings. And not just that, that the Europeans had nothing to do with the creation of this planet nor anything in the solar system. They're Johnny come latelys. I didn't say that shit. I can just read. God damn it. Bobby Hemming, melanin people, white Luciferian, reveal their secrets. Well, what's the secret? Well, right here. Blacks came from the star Sirius, which in modern day called heaven. Blacks did not come from the Ice Age and then turned Caucasians from black apes. This lie was conjured up by the Rosicrucians. All right. So we know shit was a lie. All right. We know forbidden archaeology already told us that we was already here over 3 billion years ago. Billion, not million, billion years ago. It's been proven. Okay. Now, I'll give you a science on the moon thing right quick. Some of it, not the whole thing. But right here, this is actually a spacecraft that they claim that was found on the dark side of the moon. And of course, some of y'all know about this information. Right, sister right here. This is how the spacecraft looked. And they found her, and she dates back to 1.5 billion years ago. And she looked just like the Sand people from out of South Africa. Remember the African, South African? Remember Creta Mutua is a South African? She had an apparatus attached to her third eye area, eyes, nose, and mouth. This is how she looks without the apparatus on her. As you can see, clearly, this is a melanated sister. You can see her third eye area right there. Definitely much more pronounced. So those black Syrian beings that I told you about, these black moon beings, they're the ones who set up this matrix for a time being. 6,000 years. All right, 6,000 years. This is why now the ozone layer has been depleting. This is for we can receive the Sirius energy directly. This is why the solar winds, which is corona mass ejection, CMEs, have increased from the planet, from the sun. This is why those beings are now breaking down the rings on Saturn. Because the beings, the gods on planet Earth, who was once fallen, are now rising again. You were the fallen angels of light that believed that your ass was trapped here. You believe that. All right, so if your blood type is AB plus, O plus, B plus, AB plus, A negative, O negative, B negative, AB negative. If you are A plus, then you can give blood to A plus and AB plus. You can receive blood from A plus, A negative, O plus, and O negative. If you are O plus, you can give blood to O positive, A positive, B positive, AB positive. You receive blood from O positive and O negative. If you're B positive, you can receive blood from B positive, AB positive, B positive, B negative, O positive, B O negative. And if you're AB positive, then you can receive blood from, you can give blood, to AB positive. So AB can only give blood to AB. AB positive can only give blood to AB positive. But you can receive blood from everyone. So that's A positive, A negative, O positive, O negative, B positive, B negative, A B negative, and AB plus. So you can receive blood from from everybody. The only blood type that can do that. Then you have A negative, A positive, A negative, AB positive, AB negative. You can give blood to. Receive blood from only A negative and O negative. O negative can give blood to everyone. All right, but can only receive blood from O negative. All right, so O negative is directly opposite of AB positive. All right, then B negative can give blood to B positive, B negative, AB negative, and AB positive. You can receive blood from B negative and O negative. AB negative can give blood to AB positive and AB negative, but can only receive blood from AB negative, A negative, B negative, O negative. So if mankind evolved from the same African ancestors, then everyone's blood would be compatible, but it's not. Where did the RH negatives come from? And why does the body of an Rh negative mother carrying a Rh positive child try to reject her own offspring? Humanity isn't one race, but a hybrid species. You can get this, Species with Amnesia, Our Forgotten History by Robert Seffer. Get that book, Species with Amnesia, Our Forgotten History. We are a hybrid species. All right? I ain't going to go into detail about all that. You know what I mean? However, it's also important to know that race and ethnic background of a blood donor or candidate for a blood transfusion. The blood center, physician, and blood bank technicians must always be alert for special blood types. Your blood type is inherited just like the color of your eyes, your hair. Many blood types, therefore, are found only in specific racial and ethnic groups. For example, listed here is a very few of the most common blood types in the most often seen rare ethnic category. African Americans, listen to this. Blacks, you have U negative and Duffy negative. American Indians and Alaskan Native peoples is RZ, RZ. All right. Pacific Island people and Asians have JK, A negative, B negative. Right. Hispanics have DI or B negative. Russian Jews have DR, A negative. White KP, B negative, and VEL, VEL. All right. Now, what's the science behind that? You find that the ones in which that has this U negative blood were the pygmies, the Twa people. And about one out of, I think they said, it's so rare. But African Americans have that blood type. In fact, we are the only ones that have that blood type, that U negative blood type. All right? We're the only ones. All right? Just remember, we also a hybrid species. And this is where a lot of this blood type and, cross species breeding and race mixing comes from. Okay? All right, there was a test that was done in 2011, DNA from 3 African groups. You had the so-called Pygmies, the San people, which were the Bushmen, and the Mandinka people. And the test, and it was tested and shown to come from a now extinct species that broke away from the moderate human lineage over 700,000 years ago. In 2012, another studies tested 3 sub-Saharan African populations. Once again, the Pygmies, the Hassa, and the Sandawi. And it was again found that the ancestors of modern Africans breeded with different species of hominids not found in the DNA of non-Africans. Right? So, but that's not all of them. But that's what they was calling. They calling the Homos Heidelbergensis, which is talking about 700,000 to 600,000 years ago. That's what they was calling them. All right. This is this hominin that existed before the Homo Neanderthal. All right, before the Homo or the Neanderthal, before them. All right. Matter of fact, it was before the Denisovan too. So you had the Homos Heidelbergensis, then 700,000, 600,000 years ago. Then you had 400,000 years ago. So you had the human, or what they refer to as the Denisovan, in which that then you have the Homo Neanderthal, the Neanderthals. So that is the category, and I'm saying it because this is where we get these moderate hybrid mixes from those three in particular. All right. Now we also know that there's a Dr. Clayton Zawadi Bell, and he says that the Africans are only pure human beings. So there are Africans that does not have did not mix with these particular hominids that were in Africa. All right, and I'm gonna get into all of this science. A good brother to check out too is Brent Carr. But I'm gonna be going even deeper in explaining this information, whole nother level. But but Dr. Clayton Bell, he was a college professor, and he claimed that Black people are the only race that are 100% pure human. All right. So they did not have this Hillenbergenius, did not have Neanderthal, did not have Homo Denisovan. All right. So we know that there are so-called Black Africans that had no DNA from Neanderthals, right? And this was one of the big things. All non-Africans, part Neanderthal genetics confirmed, right? This has been in the various documentations, articles, over and over again for the last 15 years. All right. All right. So in another interesting thing, in the Greatest Story Never Told by Lana Cantrell, she says there were 5 skin types written of in the Egyptian invaded text: green, red, yellow, black, and white. Of course, we're not crayons, but this is what she's saying. And this would indeed be progressive stages of chromatism, as they obviously lost a molecule of magnesium from their melatonin cells, and iron took its place, creating red blood. So I just told you the science on how red blood was formed, because magnesium was once at the center. All right. But this is just part of the explanation we have and would have been in abundance. In other words, the blood was more like chlorophyll at one time. That was what gave it green color. And then it says probably even a gold color. Even a gold color. Okay. It says the blood plasma is gold, even to this day. All right. Plasma is gold. All right, within the species, within the blood, within the human species. All right. So in the blood plasma, the color is gold, but at one time, our blood was also gold. And they would have not have been able to take a heavy CO2 atmosphere. Copper is an excellent oxidation reduction element, as it synthesizes enzymes towards this end. We know chlorophyll and human blood are nearly identical, but only one major factor keeps us from being efficient as plants in oxygen turnover, iron, which makes us lose our magnesium molecule. Hence the reason why you have to eat a lot of green leafy vegetables daily. And the reason why on the back of children, on babies, when they come out the womb, you see green patches all over the back of their buttocks, all over their back area. It's because at one time that shows the magnesium was plentiful in us at one time. And so plants, when exposed to light, use carbon dioxide and release oxygen, which is the opposite to our respiration. But what would also be to our great benefit is that a green skin like plant would react to an orange short red and blue-green area of the sun spectrum rather than the green and yellow spectrum, which produces intense radiation through heat. Well, that's the reason why we was given this copper-colored skin color. All right, this copper-colored skin color, hence why they call us American. It was the copper-colored races, natives, indigenous, aboriginal people of the Americas. All right. So who discovered this? The different blood types. Well, ABO blood type was discovered in 1900 by Dr. Carl Landsteiner at the University of Vienna. He wondered why some patients died as a result of blood transfusions and others did not. So they didn't even know why patients was dying. And so we talking about this science of blood types is only 100, as far as the Europeans are concerned, Albions are concerned, it's only 119 years old. And they didn't know what was really going on, and really until the 1950s and 60s. All right. So this means that there were 8, as we said, there's 8 main blood types in the ABO or RD blood group system. Some of them are more common than others, right? But among 82% of the population in the Americas have RD positive blood. The rarest blood type is AB negative, all right? So AB positive, about 30% of the people in the so-called United States. A negative, about 6% of the people. A positive, about 9% of the people. A negative, about 2% of the people. AB positive, about 4% of the people. AB negative, about 1% of the people. O positive, about 39% of the people. And O negative, about 9% of the people. All right, so the most common blood type is O positive for those in the Americas. All right. But there are way more blood types than you think. This is coming from Popular Science. There are 35 blood group systems organized according to their genes that carries the information to produce the antigens which within each system. The majority of 342 blood group antigens belong to one of these systems. The RH system, formerly known as rhesus, all right, is the largest, containing 61 antigens. Now, you don't know what rhesus is. Rhesus is a monkey, which they claim we are about 93% similar to. And I'll get into all of this information later on. All right, but the most important of these RH antigens is D antigen, is quite often missing in Caucasians, of whom are around 15% are D negative, most commonly through inaccurately known as RH negative blood. But Thomas seemed to be lacking all of the antigens, all right, which is talking about this article that we got this information from. That's who Thomas is, but we ain't worried about Thomas. We just worried about getting that information. All right. So there are some rare blood types. I went over some of them already, but there's plenty of more rare blood types. All right. So you definitely want to check that out. Even on, you have Bombay blood group, or O, which is from out of India, which is so rare. It's very hard to find someone who has that type. All right. Now, your ABO blood type is a genetic trait, like we said, eyes, color, hair, color, etc. But it is also an example of codominance. This trait is not inherited in the Gregor Mendel's fashion, which I don't necessarily believe that, because what I noticed is that if you have O positive B positive, likely the children will have O positive blood. But yet they say that O positive blood is the weakest, but obviously it's not. All right, so it does have some dominancy in the way of Gregor Mendel. This is one of the lies that they've been telling us. I'll get to a lot of that information a little bit later on for those who want to watch that 7-hour video. But of course, we know that the pH range starts at 7.0 of alkalinity. The blood is normally between 7.35 to 7.45. That's the survival range for the normal blood types. Those ranges are normally A and O. B is less than that. B can actually go into around 6.8. All right. AB is around 7.0. All right. 7.0 is neutral as far as between acidic blood and alkaline blood. All right. The blood type normally is 7.35, 7.45. All right. And what we find out is that if you can raise your alkalinity levels, it changes your blood type. Kangen water machine, which is by a magnetized electrical rotation field that changes the water structure. If you drink that, which I'm not recommending that you do, because if you are A blood type, AB blood type, or B blood type, you can die from that shit drinking from it. Right? It's not beneficial for you. Matter of fact, it made you constipated, start fucking up your kidneys. You come down with high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney failure, and everything else from fucking with that shit, even death. Right? So definitely, you don't want to be a B or B blood type. Seemingly, some O blood types don't have a problem with drinking the Kangen water. Kangen water. All right. But it can change your blood type. So I'll give you a good example. My blood type was O positive, and then when I began to start drinking the Kangen water, my shit changed to AB positive. All right. So there's some strange shit going on. And so you don't want to drink that water. It will change your blood type. And of course, to change it back, you want to stick with the juices and the berries. Go on a vegetarian or vegan fast, and then do let's say you do a vegan fast for 7 days, and then you want to do a fruit fast for 7 days, but you want to do it with the berries. The word berries within Latin means vaccine. So the berries is a natural vaccine, and the berries help to regenerate your body the quickest because they are a snapshot of sunlight in physical form. All right. The berries. All right. So, you definitely want to understand that. And when we was talking about the woman with negative blood and compared to the male who would have positive blood, the woman will reject the infant. It can cause severe anemia in the infant. Um, you know, basically, the woman will have to be shot with a Rogaine shot, right? Immune globulin, human globulin shot is a shot that she will have to get so that the child is received in favorable conditions and not aborted. All right. So these are mutations that took place because as us being a hybrid species, all right, I don't get into what came first. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know that the oldest people documented are the Twa people and they've been on the planet Earth over 30 million years, and their blood type is U negative. And there's African Americans, Moors, today in the Americas who still carry U negative blood. All right. The other blood types, the ABO blood types, are a mutation from that blood type in some shape, form, or fashion, whether it's positive or negative. All right. So, this is just the truth of the matter. All right. Like for example, RH negative blood produce rabbit serum. In particular, um, Caucasians. All Caucasians with RH negative blood are part Neanderthal, and Neanderthal were ape-like. Therefore, all Caucasians with RH negative blood are part ape. We know that about 96 to 98% human, meaning that they mankind. And this is no diss. This is just simple facts that we talking about the Neanderthal. But so were the Denisovan had 17% Neanderthal DNA. 17%. As compared to Caucasians, they have about 2 to 10% Neanderthal DNA. So they're more closer to the Denisovan than they are to the Neanderthal, actually. And so you find that the Orientals, Asians, have a high amount of Denisovan blood and Neanderthal blood also. Okay? Once again, we're a hybrid species. All right? And so these are some of the slicing and splicing of apes and other animals in which that beings would spawn from. And so I won't get into everything right here because, like I said, this shit is deep. But I'm going to end that information right here, y'all. It's 11 o'clock on the dot with the drops top, cruising the streets. All right, time for me to go and cruise the streets. You know what I'm saying? Get my ass home. All right, y'all. Juice and More just hit you up. Y'all been here. Appreciate that. All right. We love y'all. And you know how we do. Continuing now for days, weeks, months, and years to come. We move towards our most cherished goal of health, wealth, knowledge of ourselves. Every action, enterprise, and endeavor in which we wish to be involved in bringing increasing rewards. Every action, enterprise, and endeavor is bringing increasing rewards, y'all. All right? We have so much happiness and success in our life that we're able to help and share with those who are sincere along the way. We're moving closer toward the oneness of God and Goddess and the full release of our inner higher selves. Ashe. And we out, y'all. Peace.